Hey everybody. Gonna do a little bit of electrical in here. And I know this don't, look good, but this is a building. And I wasn't gonna spend $5 for, $5 or $6 for a 4-gang box. But I can get 2 of them for $2. So I'm gonna have lights outside and lights inside. And, electrical there. And then electrical all the way down this wall, this workbench that I'm putting in. And this is just sitting here, I'm just checking it out. Got a panel box I bought at a yard sale with the breakers and all. Head breakers and all in it for 40 bucks. I mean, it's a hell of a deal. It's gonna have up here, it's gonna have 2 4-foot fluorescent lights, but they plug in, so I'm just gonna wire plugs up there. But I'm gonna put receptacles up there. I'm gonna put a switch here to control those. I'm gonna have 2 lights up top to light that up. And I'm also gonna have, that's gonna be more lighting in here. I'm just now starting. Dual receptacle there. Receptacle there for the heat and air that's going in there. And then it's gonna have some 220 receptacles down there for my welders. Well, 1 welder and a 110 for my little MIG. And some under there too. But one part of this is gonna be a battery spot. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. I might put the battery bank in here. I might just take this whole section over here and make it something else. I don't know. But I put them in here too. I don't know if you can see that's kind of dark in here. Maybe you can see that one. I put 1 on each wall in here just in case I needed electrical in here. It was done. And it's not that much more money, a few bucks. But just wanted to give you a heads up. And right now I'm drilling some holes. I go around and drill my holes first, as you can see. I drill my holes first and get it over with. I mean, then you can sweep it up and get all the mess out your way. You don't get all them splinters and that stuff all over you constantly drilling different holes. So I try to do all my holes first. All right, I'll be back. Okay, on your receptacles you want to run a 12-2. I got a roll of 14-2 here that I use for lights. But on my receptacles up here I'm going to run 12-2, which is code in most places. But this gray here, this is outdoor wire, but I bought it at a yard sale for like 3 or 4 bucks, I think. So I'm going to use it. Since my outdoor wire is going to be, I'm going to pipe it in. I don't need this. Plus I'm running a bigger wire. So I'm going to use this gray outdoor stuff. Just not so I don't waste it, and it saves me. A roll of wire right there, like that right now, costs you 45, 50 bucks. So I'm just, using what I find on deals, and that's why I save this stuff for to actually use it. That's why I tell people call me a hoarder, but I mean, well, if I'm a hoarder, I'm neat about it anyway, but I use this stuff. I mean, you never know when you're going to use something that you find. And this is a prime example of using what you find on yard sales and deals and you keep in your preps. I kept this in my preps and now I'm using it. So I'll be back. Okay, when you put these wires in a box, you want to get you some of these Romex connectors. That way you can tighten the wire down. I always like to make sure everything is nice and tight. So the simple fact is, if it gets jerked around, it could split open and be a fire hazard. Something like that. And nice and tight in the box, and then see this wire. After I feed it through this hole here, will come up in the box. And it's nice and neat, and I always like to do my electrical neat. It's just the way I've always been brought up to do it, and feed your wire through the holes that you pre-drill, because you know made your plan out of what you was going to do, and you feed your wires through your holes. What I did was, I put those up here on one circuit, on a 20 amp circuit, because it's not going to be a lot of powerful stuff plugged into those. Mainly just little stuff that I work with. And a couple of extras I'm going to put in here. You know, plug my laptop in or whatever. But then I got this one run on a separate circuit, which will feed this, and probably the rest of that room in there. The 4 there. You can put like 8 or 9 receptacles on a 20 amp circuit here per code, but I'm only going to put like 5, except for up there it's going to be 7. Okay, to get my wire tight, I strip all the coating off of, you know, till I get to the 3 wires. Of course, this wire is loose because I got to put it on a breaker. This is going to go to your breaker. So you got your white in there and you ground that side. And you know, what I do is I know what this goes to, so I'll leave it like that until I put the breakers in. But you know, drill your holes. That one's a little tough to get around, but did it. Alright, I strip all these back and I put staples in there so the wires don't move. And you know, once you put the staples on, strip the wires back and put them back up in the box, you can hang whatever you want. Having decided, I probably won't put anything up there, you know, on this part right here, because it doesn't matter to me, it's just a workshop. But I'm going to put pegboard on that wall so I get the wiring in and everything in, and I'm going to insulate it too. Probably going to insulate the whole thing. I picked up some insulation today. I'm going to go ahead and insulate this because all this is going to be closed in, double walled. A little better protection for me if anything ever happens. But I'm not going to do that in there yet. I'll probably insulate it and do it later or something. But just trying to get this done so I can get on to other things. Alright, I just measured this first piece of pegboard. And believe me, it's got 3 boxes in it and a window, so it's a lot of cuts. I'll show it to you. So I got everything cut, I hope it fits. Use the jigsaw on it. We'll see. Okay, there's the pegboard. Got my boxes cut out. I got my counter fastened. And I'll put a piece of trim on the front. So, you know, make it nice smooth so you don't break yourself up or whatever when you're working there. Gotta finish nailing it now. But it's gonna be okay. Got that shelf in, let's use a regular shelf. Put the brace in the middle to support it. So it's a nice little workbench. I might do something like that, I doubt it. It's just a workshop. I'm not gonna get too elaborate, more elaborate if I already used oak and I shouldn't have. Okay. We're getting wind off of the storm. We're getting it all morning. It's starting to get heavier and heavier. But pretty strong gust. Better blow a sheet of plywood off the table. So, I'm gonna put extra security on my doors, which is a couple of these things here, and I already done drilled my holes. It'll help keep people from getting in so damn easy. So you got a bolt lock and that lock, and I'll probably put one more right below it. It'll be harder for kicking it open, and it'll slide pretty deep into the cylinder wheel. So I'll mount that on it. And once I get it out of here, that's going to be pretty good. It's going to be hard if I screw 3-inch screws. If I screw 3-inch screws through here, it's you know, a good screw. This would be hard for anybody to kick that open. So, and put a padlock on it. Couple mistakes, and this is what you get for letting somebody else measure it for you. But the guy working with me says I'll measure it, so I want to make the first shelf here high enough to put my generators under. Well, that one and my other one fits under there perfect, but this one don't, which is not going to be in here because I'm building a box outside for this, weatherproof box for vented for this to run my house in the wintertime. We lose a lot of power here, so it doesn't really matter, but still it doesn't pay to let somebody else do it. But plenty of storage. Look at that. Plenty of storage. I put this loft in. I didn't tell you that. I put this 4 foot by 5 foot loft in because right in front of the door you're not going to be able to do anything anyway. So I put the loft in. So now it's like 2 stories really. I might come and put one in here too. I don't know. Depends. But it's coming along. I'm actually putting stuff in here now just to get it out the way. I got this lock. I'm going to put a couple of these on the door. And then slide up in there. And this is nice and solid. Put a nice padlock on it. It'll work out. 3 locks on this door. On the back side, I'm going to put some steel bars over this window to keep people from knocking the window out and dragging stuff out like that. But on this outside, it's going to look something like this. Okay, my wireless receptacle here, like I said at the top, this is going to be receptacles, and these lights, shop lights I use, they plug in, so I figured I'd do it this way, plus it would give me an extra receptacle above my head if I needed to run another light or whatever. But I'll be right back to show you. Okay, I just took my razor knife and lightly cut the coating of that wire. See how I did that? And pull it back. I'll be right back. Okay, get you another piece of copper, the ground part, and pigtail it like that. Then you just put a wire nut on it. That way your ground runs continuous. There's no breaks or anything in it or anything like that. And I'll be back. And see, pretty simple. I'll show you some more, a little bit of detail on some more of these. Well, thanks for watching this part, and we'll get you some more. I'm trying to keep them kind of short, 10-12 minutes instead of 30-40 minutes, whatever. But I'll see you next time. I actually did this today. I bought this privacy fence off a guy posting all like 9 sections, I think it was, for 80 bucks. So I went ahead and used it to block off the back. And then here, I just got this temporarily here. I'm just gonna cut. You can cut this stuff with Sawzall. So I'm gonna cut it with the Sawzall and unhook it and cut it when I do the siding. I just got it in here for temporarily. There's a gate right here. So I'm gonna put a shed out here to put my riding mower and tillers and stuff on there. And my 4-wheeler. So that's what I did. I did this today instead of finishing the electrical because I couldn't get my ditch wedge to do the other one. That's going to be pretty nice. Tree was right in the way, but managed to get right up around it. And put a gate on it. I gotta clean this stuff up. This stuff will come off. But I'm gonna reinforce it on the back side with a 2x treated. And fasten this. It's a 4x4 posts inside them, and we'll fill them with concrete after it's done. So it'll be a pretty stout fence, it won't blow over. We get a lot of wind down here. Anyway, there's more of my shack. Not gonna look too bad, I don't guess. That's done. You gotta cut all the posts off. That was the way they had them when I took it down out of their yard. But everything's nice and straight back in there. Gives me a big place to store stuff. Out of sight gas, things like that. Thank you. See you on the next part.